give them the benefit of the doubt. What can you say has changed in dating?
Well, this is the thing. And this is the funny part, the only thing that really changed is access. You understand? Meaning like access to a multitude of people that you probably would have had a harder time getting access to before. Other than that, nothing really has changed as far as
I agree.
you know what I
Please elaborate because they
right,
gonna come
I
after me
agree.
when this goes on
right,
YouTube. They all gonna come to my channel and be like,
mhm,
"Yeah, it has changed." So
right.
really,
But
go
What's
ahead.
changed?
the funny
Hey,
part
you
is
know what?
it's easier.
Well, I'll call bullshit on it
Mhm,
now, man. Anytime my teenage sons are telling me the same stuff in 2021 or
mhm,
same issue that I dealt with in 1981.
mhm,
Only difference is, as Mr. Locario said, there's actually more access now. It's just
mhm,
like, I don't see what the issue is. But when it comes down to it, it comes down to man getting with a woman.
mhm,
You know, that's it. That's been the same thing throughout history. The only thing that's changed is technology. And
mhm.
like I said, literally, when it was my 16-year-old son, he was saying the same thing. I was like, damn, didn't I say that back when I was 16? I was like,
Mhm.
hold up. And
Right.
I talked to consultation clients. Most of my consultation clients are in their 20s. And they
Mhm.
saying the same thing. And
Mhm.
then I know people who don't even know I'm on YouTube. They have no idea what I do for a living. So
Mhm.
when they talking, they saying the same things. I'm
Right.
like, wait a minute, I haven't seen a change other than, as Mr. Locario said, just more access. Okay, you had the online stuff, but at the end of the day, it's still man has to like interact with women.
Right.
It's like
Mhm.
it hasn't been it hasn't been anything. You still got to talk to them, even if you meet them online. You still got
Ex-
to meet them in person. You still got to talk to them. They
Exactly.
still got to get turned on. Oh, let me get
Mhm.
raw with it. Their vagina still got to tingle the same way. If y'all hook up, the penis still goes in the vagina the same way.
Right.
So what's been the real change? I mean, shit, ain't nobody mutated or anything.
Right. And it's funny because in the chat of Living, the producer talking about, so technology hasn't changed dating with the emoji face. This is what you got to understand. And this is the funny part. See, again, like I said, the main thing that's changed is access. But this is the interesting part. The access actually makes it a little bit more easier.
Yeah.
And also this too. We also got to take into account um, the women are even socialized more to be freakier quicker. So you have access and you have society saying, yeah, girl, do your thing. So for the guys who are having trouble with it, what it is that those are the same guys that back in the day, what the same guys that had trouble back in the day are the same guys that's having trouble now.
Real talk.
It's just that they're having more trouble on it's like you can see the trouble now. You understand what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
of access. So this is the thing. The reason why it's easier is because of the access. So for example, like let's say back in the day before they made cars and stuff, right? And then people was traveling on horses and everything like that. And now we have planes. So now it would have took you probably a day or two to get from one place to the next, but then access to a plane, you understand, made it easier here to here in like an hour or 2 hours, right? So now we have access. You can literally talk to millions of girls around the world on Instagram, Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and on like Snapchat, Tinder, Bumble, all these different things. So you have all this access to all these women. You see what I'm saying? So if you have all this access to all these women, and society is telling women, hey, yeah, do your thing, have your fun. What's your excuse as a man for where you're saying, oh, well, you don't understand, the game has changed and it's hard now because no, the reason why a lot of guys say it's hard is because what happens is that there's more there's more guys who are being looked at as the non-select dudes that are
Mm-hmm.
being exposed more, and then women have more access to the select guys. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now that women have more access to the select guys, the non-select guys are feeling it more. So this is the thing. It's easier for a guy who has game, but it's
Yeah.
harder for the guys who don't have game. So this is why all the guys who don't have game are saying social media made everything. Yeah, it made it suck for you as the guy who has no game. You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
access to the guys that they really want. So become the guy they really want, you'll be good.
You had incels back in the day. They just didn't have the means to like really congregate. But
Right.
you always had that uncle or that bachelor, that cousin or someone who didn't have a mate. They just stayed to themselves. Now they have access to the internet, and people think, oh, it's all different. It's like, no, it's like they still got the same type
Right.
now. And like I said, Locario pointed it out. You got more access. Men who are become select, shoot, it's easy for them. It's easier at everything. Even the ones who want to have steady relationships. Seriously, and see, here's an issue I have. A lot of guys saying it, but you didn't live back in the day.
Right. Exactly.
How do you know anyway what really happened?
Right.
Not what Big Mama told you, because Big Mama was getting down. I remember when I was young, had that thought, and I had some elders going back to the 1920s and 30s telling me some stuff. And it's the same thing. Well, back then it was the milkman coming through the front door, the back door man. Just listen to some of those old blues songs. The only thing different is the technology now. Like Mr. Locario said, I'm gonna reiterate this. People need to rewind that, write that down. You actually got more access if all you had to do is become select. It ain't hard. Shoot, really, shoot. And the way women are, the way they like throwing it now. If you're decent now, you can get some play. You don't have to look like supermodel of the world.
I want to go ahead and elaborate on that, because when I hear folks saying, like they said, it was hard, it's harder now than it was then. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I think, in my opinion, it is easier because a lot of dudes out there can't. A lot of dudes out there do not have the gift of gab. A lot of men out there are afraid. So all you guys out there that would talk that really out there talking about, yo, this is so hard, these girls, it's like, trust me, all you gotta do is just know how to speak, just know how to like have a good presentation, just be fly, just look good. You don't have to be good looking. Like me, I look good. Call me good looking, but I know how to keep the beard cool and the head shaved and put on some shades and look fly. Just say hi, how you doing? What's your interest? How was your day? Woo woo. That's about it. But now I want to segue into this. But everything I just said right now, I'm simping. What's with all the simp shit? So now I have an interest in a woman. I want to holler at this shit. I don't complain about anything anymore. And now when I defend women about what they're saying about the men, that's when we become simps. You've been called that too, Locario, because you're always, when somebody asks you a question, you'll throw a question right out back at the man, because you're addressing them like, yo, it's you, and I can tell because how you're addressing me. What is so simpish now about wanting to attract women and even to develop relationships with them nowadays as a coach on your end?
Well, the thing is, what's the funny part is that, and this is what I learned from coaching, for years. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this since 2007, 2008. And what I noticed is there's some guys out there, and even, some women, if you coach women too, there's just some people out there who actually don't want to improve or don't want to really make anything happen, right? So what happens is that you have guys out there who specifically like just to complain about what's going on. And so if you're the type of guy who's saying, hey, listen, hey, there's nothing wrong with women. You got to work on your stuff, and you got to, be able to get to the point where you're attracting the type of women you want. They'll say, oh, you sound like a feminist. You're simping for these women. You're not calling out women on their BS and yada, 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 because they want to stay in that sort of mind frame of that. So they don't really want help. They want to just be able to, because again, you got to understand something. It's easier to complain and talk shit than it is to actually put in work so that you can be where you need to be. You understand what I'm saying? So, for example, a person might say, "Oh, all these girls just want guys that, they want these guys who look this way and who are fit." So it's easier to complain about that than just to get fit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fit, and if they were coming to you like that, you wouldn't be complaining. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, so A lot of these dudes, because of the work that needs to be put in, they don't want to have to do that. So the next best thing is to complain. And then when they see that you're pointing the finger at them and not just complaining about women with them, that's when they want to call you a simp, or you're feminist. You know what I'm saying? You're taking their side, and you know what I mean? And it's like they don't really see what you're trying to tell them. You feel what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel. Hold up, before you go, Rom, I just want to say something because somebody in the chat said Kevin Samuels proved that dating is hard for men. I just want to get. I just want to give everybody. Hold up, Locario, because I know. Don't hold up. Don't empty the clip yet. Don't empty the clip yet, because I know you're ready to go.
Improve.
I'm gonna tell you something. When you unplug, meaning turn off Instagram, log out of YouTube, and no disrespect to the brother, no, your average person does not know who Kevin Samuels is. Do you know how many people are not even on YouTube? He got a
Right.
million.
Mm-hmm.
He has a million
Mm-hmm.
bodies on the gram and on YouTube. But I'm telling you, my co-workers who are in their 30s or who hit the wall have no idea who that brother is. You know why?
Just some real
Because they're
talk.
not because they're not always on their phone watching YouTube videos and scrolling on the gram all day. All day. Guess what they're doing? They're outside socializing. They're at the
Yeah.
park. They're at festivals. They're at the lakes. They're at coffee shops. They're at bars. They're at happy hours. They're outside mingling with people, actually talking to people, shit that people used to do back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Yeah, hey, we were the platinum generation. Y'all generation, y'all albums don't even go platinum no more.
Respect.
Y'all get
Yeah.
platinum plaques for streaming. We're not the streaming shit. We actually talk to people. But no, all due respect, sir, in the chat, I'm just letting you know. But Kevin Samuels did not prove
Well,
that everything is hard because guess what? Dudes are still coming up. Do we need to have platforms where dudes talk about how they still come up? I mean, is that what's needed nowadays? Go ahead.
I'm gonna say something, and to this young man in the thing. I just have one simple question. You
Maybe, but
complain it. What street you out of, man?
Right.
What street you in? Because seriously, because as Mr. Black said, shoot, you go out here, there's people don't know, they don't know about Kevin Samuels. Like just where I live, there's a whole lot of people I talk to. They have no idea what I do for a living. They have no idea. They have no idea. In fact, I remember telling some people what I did. They say, "You get paid for that?"
Right.
It was like, yeah, guys complaining. I mean, that's just a reality. Yeah, a lot of people do know who we are and know who Kevin is, and yeah, that's very good for them. But then there's people who don't.
Right.
Yeah, and that's just the reality. And even then, that's just one voice. All respect to him, that's one voice. All respect to us, we're one voices and stuff. You got some people out there doing some stuff. Like I say, they have no idea about any of this.
Right.
They don't care about it. They getting theirs. Men getting theirs. You know?
Nah, and what's funny is it's not about because what he said that Kevin Samuel proved that the dating market is hard or something like that. Is that what he said? No,
yeah.
this is the if you actually look closely, and I talked about this before, I think guys see this is when you got to be able to critically think, look, and see what's popping off, right? It's what it is that what Kevin Samuels does is that he actually highlights, the like he highlights beta males, if you understand what I'm saying. Like he highlights the non-select. He highlights, meaning the guys who watch his show. You understand what I'm saying? They're looking at women who are looking for those types of guys, which are quote unquote the providers. You understand what I'm saying? I want the guy with the 6 figures and all this other stuff. What those women are looking for is someone to settle with. What women generally want overall is they want a guy who they're sexually attracted to, who dominant, who's an alpha male, and who provides and protects and has all that the resources and stuff. They want the entire package. You understand what I'm saying? But what women will do is they will settle for the guy with resources. So a lot of the guys who watch Kevin Samuels, they're resource guys, meaning their most attractive quality is their resources. And so what happens is that they think that they are the top guy because this is what women are saying they want. The women on Kevin Samuels show, what they're essentially saying is that what I really want is the guy that hits on all cylinders, but you guys don't. But what you do have is resources, so I'll settle for y'all. but those guys don't realize that they're the settled guys. They're the guys that women are settling for. You see what I'm saying? And so the reason why those guys are attracted to Kevin Samuels' show is because usually the guys that are attracted to Kevin Samuels' show are guys who aren't generally attractive to women, which is why they like to see Kevin Samuels roast the women. It's like, yeah, get that whore, get that chick. You see what I'm saying? Like this is what happens. So that's what I'm saying. You got to look at it critically, because, and this is why they're saying that Kevin Samuels proves that dating is hard. No, it's the guys that watch it, it's hard for them, which is why they're tuning in to see women that remind them of the women who didn't want them get roasted. You see what I'm saying? That's generally what happens. You see what I mean?
Yo, and this is
Yeah,
so,
and
oh,
that's
go ahead,
it.
Ron.
That's the thing. You know, just a reality. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get. We've been saying that some guys they're gonna have trouble. Some other guys it's totally different. All
Mhm.
right. I mean, seriously, my perspective is just totally different. It's like almost too easy.
Right,
Seriously, and I'm kind of semi-retired, so I'm like, you know, seriously, I'm like, well, hold up, if a 56-year-old man could get like random highs in the street without really trying, what's up with the young guys?
right,
Yeah.
right,
And that's why I say, you know, you get somebody complain. That's why I say, what street you from?
right.
Seriously,
And
and to be clear, I'm outside of Baltimore. I'm in the
right.
DMV area, so Locario's in New York. So,
Mhm.
you know, Mr.
That's,
Black, you out where you at? You out in Northern
I'm in the
California.
Bay Area. Yeah, y'all know
Right.
where I
Yeah.
be.
And
Where
see,
you at?
Oblivion, the producer in the chat, see, he's talking about, so having money makes you beta. I'm not talking about having money makes you beta. What I'm saying is that a lot of the guys who tune in who have money, right? What it is that it's see, it's funny how you know, they say that you were Derek Jackson or whatever, but
Mm.
what Kevin Samuels kind of does is that he kind of is Derek Jackson for the men, because for the men who have money but no game, you know what I'm saying?
Leave Kevin alone. Yeah.
No, I'm not. It's not even. I'm actually talking about his viewers.
All right.
Viewers, his viewers are the guys that they have money, and the money is the most attractive thing for them. Because I look,
Yeah.
in my new book that I have coming out with, I break down the 5 types of attraction. There's physical attraction, sexual
Mm-hmm.
attraction, behavior attraction, resource attraction, and friendship attraction. So what happens
Mm-hmm.
is that most of the guys that watch the show are guys who women are attracted to for resources. So
Yeah,
that's
and that's never good.
right, exactly. So if a woman is really necessarily attracted to you because of your resources and Oblivion, I'm not throwing shade at dudes who have paper, because I got paper. You understand what I'm saying? But the difference between me and them is I have paper and game. They just got paper. You see what I'm saying? So what will happen is the guys who just have paper, they're going to get married to these women, and then these women are going to come and have sex with me. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And creep with me because I'm the one that they're actually attracted to. You see what I'm saying? So
And
Mm.
that's reality.
right,
That look, let's just be real, because I've talked about that. How many times have I done the my bad joke while I'm
exactly.
driving? Because that's a real thing. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, that's a real thing. You get a lot of these women, they will marry a man who you know provide and bring in that money. But
Hmm.
like I say,
Right.
double back home. It's just a reality. Some women they will tell you that if you get a woman comfortable and you want to you getting the sex from her, she'll say, "Oh yeah, he paying for all of this. He paid for this room.
Hmm.
He thought I was just going to get my hair done." She's
Hmm.
like, no,
Right.
no. She could get her. She got $500 get her hair done. She knows she get it done for $49.99. The other $450 going to that hotel room,
Hmm.
and that's just some real talk out here.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell on myself because I said it before, I was the other guy. And when I
Hmm.
always ask
I've
like,
been there too, man.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's like what is it about me versus, your man? I mean, he got it going on. He got fat pockets and everything. He got everything that you could possibly dream of that he could give to you. What's up with me? And she said, because you're fun.
Hmm. Exactly.
That's some real talk. That's how I know what I know. Cause I mean, I ain't proud of it, but that's how I learned what
Yeah.
I learned. Like it was to the point women were lying to me about this because I was like saying, "Nah, I can't mess with you. You got somebody." So they started lying to me. So
Hmm.
I was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, I was like, damn. And they say it straight up. And this when I was broke.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah,
when I had the less amount of money,
me
Mm-hmm.
too.
you
Me
know?
too.
And seriously, because that's one thing guys got to understand, a woman's sexual nature. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I talk about, a woman's sexual nature. Once you understand that, you understand, hey, what I always say, make the money for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah.
lead with your wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll debate anybody on that. Anybody.
It-
I don't care where, when, whatever.
that's
Mm,
facts.
Seriously, because we all three of us had the experience getting women without putting out any money. I
Exactly.
talk about the time I went to motels, two different women paid 2 different week back to back. It would have been a third week in a row, but the woman had her own spot.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of times. There's some more times like that too. Because it's about sex. And that's why I say, people call me a dating coach. I say, no, I'm telling y'all how to get sex. If you listen to what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very simple.
Yo,
Mm-hmm.
this is mad game right here. So I just want to let the fellas out there in the chat room, if you having struggles, are you likable? A
Mm-hmm.
girl just has to like you. That's why I had to like give my little testimony that she just said that I was fun. She liked being around me. And it wasn't that I was
Mm-hmm.
entertaining them or anything like that. I was just a joy to be around them. I wasn't making them laugh. They were comfortable. They liked me. I was easy to talk to. And then the
That's
rest
all
is
they
history.
need.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta go here. I gotta go here. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel, and and shout out to your, to your panel, Locario. Is it a real game, no theory, all game, no theory,
Real game, no
real
theory.
game, no theory. Shout out because
No, it's real game.
I'm not trying to throw shots. I'm not trying to throw a jab. But to me, that shit
Yeah.
is what the black manosphere is supposed to be. Shout out
Mm-hmm.
to EO, only white boy in the crew, but it's all good. Shout out. But my question is before we close out, why do you think there's so much focus on the bad apples? That's
Mm-hmm.
all we hear about what this chick is doing, what this chick is doing. We highlight the terrible, negative, bad, impactful actions that women are doing now. And they do that. And I'm just, no, not Black Manosphere. I'm just saying they do that in the Manosphere, period. Highlighting
Um,
negative, impactful actions. Why aren't more spaces like, yo, this is the type of woman that you should be going after her because a lot of these dudes want relationships. They're not just trying to smash. Let's be honest. And Lakar, you
Mm-hmm.
know this shit too.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Why so much attention on the bad actions of women?
Mm-hmm. Man, well, the thing is, well, first I'll say this. First, I try to distance myself from the manosphere because
Yeah, you do a good
a
job,
lot,
bud.
you know how to go. Because a lot of this stuff, I just be like, come on, you know what I mean? But the reason why, though, it's a lot of that focusing on that is because you got to understand that a lot of these guys are, like just like a lot of them are just YouTubers. You understand what I'm saying? And you're not wrong with that, but just there's a difference between see, I'm a businessman that use YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? And then you have YouTubers. You feel what I mean? Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just got to understand the difference. So understanding that the person is a YouTuber or a person is a YouTuber, so you might have people in the manosphere who are YouTubers that they make their money strictly on YouTube. So that's how they make their living on YouTube. So if
Yeah.
if I know that complaining about women is going to draw in more people, then I'm a
Mm,
because that's how I'm gonna make the money. You feel what I'm saying? And so what happens is that one point of it is that it's the money making part of it that causes them to continue to do that because that's what the audience wants to hear. You feel what I'm saying? If you start saying anything about accountability, this is why, for example, you've had someone like a Derek Jackson who would preach to women, but you would never hear Derek Jackson say anything to ever criticize or critique the woman. It's always, oh, this and that, because it makes the women feel good, which draws in the crowd, which makes them the money.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with guys in this space where some of them like to hear the doom and gloom. They get off on that, and that's going to draw the crowd, and then that's where the money's going to be. So that.
Like I've had some people hit me up, how come you ain't saying something about these bad words? I say, no, I'll call out someone that needs to be called out. But my thing is when you see the woman is crazy, she's argumentative, she's unattractive, leave her alone. Don't focus on her. I
Mm-hmm.
would shoot, focus on the attractive women. Seriously. Don't focus on it. If they are physically unattractive, don't focus on them. I focus when I'm out, like a busted woman, she only way I even see her is if she come right to me, stand right in front of me.
Mm.
My eyes are only focusing on women who are fine, who look like they work out, who look like they got some sense.
Mm.
See, a lot of these guys focusing on that low hanging, like you said earlier. A lot of them knows the women they going for. It's just like if you take it out your mind, that's not what you gonna go for. You ain't worried about them. They just
Right.
like squirrels running around or something.
Mm.
So just don't focus. Seriously, like squirrels, you don't think about it. Even if you in a neighborhood that got rats, you don't really think about it as long as the rats stay over there. It's just like, hey, and that's how I look at it. You know, when I see ratchet women wherever I'm going, like I said, I'm right outside Baltimore. When I see ratchet women, I don't think anything. You know, if they ain't, unless they just right in my face, you know, if you unless they just right in my face, I don't worry about it. You know, let me say something to this young man. He talking about all this other stuff. You still didn't say what street you came from.
Right.
Why don't you address why don't you be a man and address what we actually talking about? You trying to put all this other stuff and then why are you here, period?
Right.
Yes, see, this
Why are
is
you
what
here,
I'm talking
period? You
about.
care exactly about what we talk about, little boy.
That's what I'm talking about. Facts.
See, this is what I gotta address. See, this is the OG space right here. See, the thing
Yes.
is, there was way too much disrespect in the comments when I was over there, on O'Shea. And shout out to O'Shea because that's a good brother. We spoke offline and everything. He even said they're gonna come after me, and I said I welcome the smoke. Come bring the shit. Thing is, what we're not going to do here. There's not going to be any disrespect, especially on my platform. This is a straight game. We OGs and it's all love, and we're here to game. We're gonna end that complaining shit. And I probably sparked off a civil war that I really don't give a fuck about. I don't because that shit over there was disrespectful. And then another brother came on after me. His name is I think his name is G or G Tech, and he said the same exact shit that I said. Even K Zaggin was just like, yeah, these motherfuckers need to stop complaining. This right here is just above game. This is just straight knowledge that can just impact you.
Yeah, this life, man.
This is what we're doing here. This ain't just like, these women need to look. We're done with the whole women need to hold themselves accountable. How about you guys just go after the ones that just got their shit together? Stop dating.
Yeah, leave them alone, man.
Yeah, leave that shit alone. Stop dating with your dick and use your head. My thing is this.
Yeah.
Be real with yourself with what you want because a lot of you guys out there, you want to be in long-term committed relationships. You're tired of dating. You want that one chick. Just go for it. Just go for it. Just stop. Don't worry about what the pillars are saying. Don't worry about what red pillars are saying. If you want to get married one day, dude, remarry. Me and Locario was married. There's nothing wrong with that. And know what? And stop with the whole anti-marriage shit. Stop with the whole anti-marriage shit. Stop watching channels about being anti-marriage. Marriage is not the problem. Commitment is. Be real with yourself of what you want to do. Do I really want to go ahead and be in a relationship? Then go ahead and go for it. Do what you want to do. If somebody laughs at you, fuck them. But this is grown man shit right here. We about that real shit. But let me get off my goddamn soapbox.